Our last video on 310 stealth mechanics covered the bare bones of what a pilot needs to know to successfully utilize or counter stealth while performing missions. But many of you wanted more. This video will provide that new information by answering your questions directly. Hey everyone, Jub here from Legacy Fleet. Before diving into questions, we quickly wanted to address the new targeting changes with Target Nearest Attacker and Stealth. The feature does not allow a target lock if you are outside of their detection range, but remember that pinning and locking targets will now show indicators even if you are outside of detection range. Don't ruin your approach with an early lock. With that, Fleetingdreams from YouTube ask, can you also add test for when people are actively scanning for you with ping? Before we answer this question, know that many mechanics involving signature and detection are inconsistent and appear to be heavily dependent on server conditions, especially radar pinging. Despite this, another content creator, Photon Pulse, has done detailed work in this area. Using extensive testing, he has confirmed that detection ranges via scanning are predictable. We told you in a previous video that, to determine passive, non-pinging detection range with a size 1 radar, multiply the highest of the signature values by 0.5. It turns out that this formula extends with pings. The passive detection multiplier, 0.5, can be doubled when the scan is conducted at 1x, and using the maximum radar ping focus of 128x will produce a multiply of 2.5. The relationship isn't exactly linear, but this trend follows for the other radar sizes. 1x gets you twice the range, and 128x gets you 2.5 times the range. There's so much more to this than we thought, so we just encourage you to look at his Google Sheet to see his full details if you are interested. The link is in the description below. Additionally, this individual informed us that our multiplier for the size 0 radars was incorrect, and after testing we've confirmed that he is correct. The multiplier for size 0 radars is 0.4, and the updated formula is shown below. We apologize for the confusion. Gordito Bandito on Spectrum asked, and we're paraphrasing for brevity here, but how does suppress IR affect ship power systems? We still have not been able to find any ill effects from suppress IR on any of the ships we have tested, but in the course of investigating, we did find something that necessitates us updating our previous guidance. As we said, signature and detection mechanics are very susceptible to game networking issues, and as it appears, suppress IR is particularly troublesome. We've determined that suppress IR will only affect detection range if the ship a pilot is trying to detect is owned by that same pilot. Obviously, this makes it largely useless, but this did impact our testing because some of our tests were performed by a single pilot, providing both the detected and detecting ships. So, to answer this question, we haven't found any ill effects, but it's irrelevant anyways because suppress IR isn't useful in virtually any situation involving a mission. So, don't use it. Poxwara777 on YouTube asked, have you checked if the similar detection mechanics apply to completely powered down ships? I wonder if the I'm just a space junk maneuver works. Ships definitely have minimum detection distances. We've tentatively reached the conclusion that this is caused by a base IR value that applies to all components, regardless of whether they are powered or not. This is a good segue into a tip that may help pilots complete their missions. One might think that you can take certain equipment to avoid signature problems they present by keeping them powered off until needed, but that's not fully true. For example, flying with powered off ballistic weapons will yield a lower detection range than flying with powered off energy weapons. You can also completely remove a component to potentially reduce detection range significantly. For example, if your Eclipse's mission is to only drop its torps and then exit immediately, it might benefit from removing its stock guns and other unnecessary components completely, so it can benefit from an even lower detection range. Finally, we had one more observation that impacts all signature and detection mechanics. Some mechanics of the game's networking, whether it's object container streaming, some kind of culling, or something else, effectively prevents detection of ships past around 15 kilometers, unless your client is already tracking that ship somehow. There are a few ramifications of this you might see. A high-emitting ship may be detected around 15 kilometers, but the track won't drop until a much higher range. This is because your ship should be detecting it, but it can't detect it for the first time until the game servers decide that your game client needs to see it. Radar pings may seem to have diminishing returns after certain zoom levels. This is because even though your radar should be detecting further, it does not due to your game client not being able to know there's a ship. detection ranges may appear to be generally inconsistent at ranges higher than around 12 to 15 kilometers when compared to what is predicted by formulas we provided. This is all because your client decides what needs to be loaded onto the field of play. We hope to continue making these short 310 focused videos to help players get up to speed with the changes. As always, feel free to contact us via YouTube comments or on our Discord with any questions or additional tips you might have. Hope this helps you all navigate the verse. Take care.